Greetings again, loyal minions, beautiful humans. I think this is my third video for the day. You must all be getting sick of me. I get sick of myself. We have a new hero to review, and it has another stupid name, Anatemah. And look, I should actually start searching these names to see if there's meaning before I do the review, as opposed to after. Anatemah, weird looking unit. In the Astral Summon, which we now have the Astral Demons, I believe they're called, aren't they? Astral Demons, that's correct. So we'll look at these odds. 0.5% chance for a legendary event hero, 1.6% chance for a legendary hero. For each summoned legendary Astral, you'll get another one as a bonus, so it's a bit of a 2-for-1. Legendary featured hero, 0.4%. So very, very slow. And Eldrin, 1.3% is Hero of the Month. If you haven't checked out my musical Hero of the Month review, go check that out. We do have a little bit of fun with Eldrin, so hopefully you enjoy that. Into Anatemah. I'm just going to go with what I say. We have the Mana Shield talent of Cleric, which is fantastic. I have been running low on Cleric emblems lately. Gives you the chance to resist negative mana effects, and when you do, you also get a bit of health, so that's fantastic. Defense up with the Aether talent, 20% defense for 6 turns. The Astral Demons, bonus for 1 or 2 heroes. Character gains 3 or 6% mana when taking special skill damage. 50-70% chance to cleanse a random cleansable status ailment from the character when receiving special skill damage. It's not quite as good as I don't think the Astral Dwarves, who had the 50 to 70% chance of, dispelling the whole enemy team. But yeah, good nonetheless. Resist mana ailments. Character is immune to status ailments and negative stacks that affect mana generation. So fantastic against the moths, Fergus, etc. Has the perfect accuracy, so never misses a target. We'll turn that max power preview off. 1250 in the house with the power. Creeping. Very high on the defense, and I've just glanced down, and that's why, because it is a slow hero. Artwork, look, I don't mind the background, the artwork, it's pretty cool, but it is a bit of a freaky looking hero in general. Not freaky in a cool way, just kind of strange. I don't know. Do we need a ranking on the coolest looking heroes in the game? There's so many to choose from. Anyway, Astral Orb, running at slow speed, deals 400% damage to 5 random enemies. So already as a slow hero, that stands out, that 400% to 5 random enemies, not that great when you're looking at the slow side of things, but we'll keep going. Hit enemies become afflicted with Astral Orb. Ooh, what's the Astral Orb? Something new? While afflicted with the Astral Orb, the owner can't gain new buffs. Okay. So, kind of looking very, very similar to Gestalt at the moment, just from a pure hits random enemies, gives them an orb, in his case, a sphere, I think it was. I can't even remember. While afflicted, they can't gain new buffs. Just trying to think who out there at the moment really relies on their buffs. Obviously, Guric would have been a prime example, although it's slow. This is a problem, at slow speed, you're generally not going to be hitting. I mean, you're stopping them from getting the buffs the second time almost, but, you know, as we know, it can be over by then. Anyway, Astral Orbs explode in 3 turns, dealing 450 damage to their owner. If the Astral Orb is cleansed, the owner receives Resonance for 3 turns. Resonance deals 500 damage that reverberates to 5 random enemies each turn. Wow. Okay, so there's a couple of things I'd need to clarify on this. I think this was part of the fix that came in when Pepper Flame kind of got nerfed. So these orbs, if you hit the same enemy twice, it's technically cleansing the first orb, and they get the orb, so it replaces itself. Now, way back when, before that Pepper Flame nerf, Gestalt would actually do damage if he, I think, I could be, you know, my memory could be fading, but from my memory, if you hit someone twice, the the sphere or orb would replace itself, and therefore it acts like the first one got removed. Now with this, if the astral orb is cleansed, so it only says cleansed, so that to me is a bit of a downside, because if you hit someone 3 different times, I mean, yes, you're hitting them for 3 hits of 400%, so they're probably going to be close to dead anyway. But they're only getting 1 orb, so to me it lowers the overall effectiveness, but having said that, it still sounds like a very, very powerful hero. So if we think you're going to hit, say, 3 different enemies out of 5, you might hit the same one twice. Again, keeping in mind it's slow, so by the time you get to that point, you never know what's happening. She could be a very, very good finisher. And that's where, again, the orbs are a little bit wasted, because you kind of want the orb to be cleansed. So you're deliberately taking this. I don't think it's going to work on defense in Rush War, of course, but you just deliberately don't take a cleanse against it. You could take a blocker to the orb, as it is an ailment. So if you take an ailment blocker, that's not going to hit you. If it's cleansed, you get 3 turns resonance, 500 to 5 random enemies each turn. So you're doing 2,500 damage every turn on top of 5 400% hits. So that 400% hit's probably going to be, if you're maxing the attack, it's probably going to be like 900, 800 to 5. So you're doing 4,000 damage. And then if that orb gets cleansed, yeah, I mean, she's going to be an absolute monster on offense in Rush War, because take it against the team that has a cleanser, especially if there's passive cleansing, like like her own family, a chance to cleanse a random ailment. So there's a few different families out there that have that cleanse. I think is Beowulf family, I think possibly have that as well. So you can use that to your advantage. If they've got a cleanser, you can time it perfectly, hit with these orbs, get them cleansed, and then you're just going to be doing a crap ton of damage. Yeah, another 2.5. So I mean, with your hit and then a couple of more turns of that orb damage, it's going to be over. But again, keeping in mind it's a slow hero, so in all this time you've got all the other stuff going on. So could be used as a bit of an insurance policy. You know, you might go a 3-1-1. And if you don't get your main color, you've got her sitting there. If you happen to get your blue, she's just going to decimate an enemy team. Yeah, so that's pretty damn good. And again, as being slow, we're going to talk about Rush War. We're going to talk about mana increases. You've got Nordica is still one of the best in blue. You've got the, who was it? I'm thinking of, was it Glusma? It was one of the slime that does the increased mana. But yeah, there's a few in blue, even someone like an Ariel with a costume especially to keep her relevant, but you can give that mana each turn, slowly build them up and get them, you know, so even in a 2-stack, if you've got 3 of one color and then you take 2 blues and you pair, say, with an Ariel, you can get that extra mana, get her charged up a little bit quicker, and if you get her charged before the rest of your team, then, you know, she's going to save your butt a bit. So again, very, very strong hero. I don't think anything changing the meta, purely if that orb kind of replaced itself, classed as a cleanse, which it doesn't, or if it didn't rely on a cleanse, because I would almost say you'd use as a tank, resistant to mana reductions, which is fantastic. Use as a tank, get those orbs out there, but as long as you don't cleanse them, you just sort of heal over the top of them. They're doing 450 damage after 3 turns, so that gives you plenty time to try and heal them away, or because she is slow, you could get a blocker up in the first place. So I think for that reason, not going to be seen as, you know, meta in the tank sense. And slow heroes generally don't make their way into defenses unless it's as a tank, or if the tank has mana gen. So absolute beast, offense, Rush War, and offense with other heroes that are going to speed her up, or, as I said, just on the off chance you get those blues. Very good hero. I hope if you are doing summons, I think that's all I need to say. If you are doing summons, I hope you get the hero you want. I wish you the best of luck. I've said this so many times today, so I'm not going to say it. But give your kitty a scritch for me. I'll skip the other crap. Have a bloody good one. It's bath time for me.